Hey gardeners, Lindsay here with the Mindful Living Movement, and I wanted to talk to you about composting and why I think that composting is so important for every single gardener or plant grower. Stella, you can say hi. Stella's here to share her thoughts as well. Now, whether you're using a vermicompost system or an actual, outdoor, more traditional compost system, either of them is fantastic. They both are going to create black gold for your plants, which is exactly, what we're here for and what we want. Compost it's pretty balanced in its nutrients. It's also a slow release for your plants, so you can use a lot of it. I've planted tomatoes into a giant pot of just compost, and I had the most monstrous tomatoes that you've ever had. They were so happy. You can't use too much of it, and that's the amazing part. Plus, you're reducing your household waste pretty significantly. I recently had a student in my gardening course do a little sort of home study where they weighed out all of their garbage with not, separating out all the things that can go into their compost, and then they also weighed it out after pulling out all the food scraps and paper and all those things that you actually can compost. And their compost system was reducing their household waste by 40%, which is like crazy. That's almost half. That's huge, that stuff that you're saving from going to the landfill. So even that all by itself, using your food scraps and your paper and all of the yard waste, the leaves that come off of your houseplants, all of that stuff, it makes a very big difference. So don't doubt that it does, because it really does. But then what does it actually help with your plants? Like, what is it doing to your soil? So we've got a balanced nutrient system. It's usually a very complete nutrient system as well. So if you're putting in, assortment of food scraps and yard waste and you're getting a little bit of all the things, you're gonna have all the nutrients in the compost, which is great. That's important. It's also really good for helping to hold moisture, giving you consistent moisture in your soil. And for most of us gardeners, the less watering we have to do, the better. The more that we can conserve, our precious resource of water, the better. And it's also very fluffy in its nature. It helps create like a really nice structure to the soil. You get that nice fluffy humus type texture where the roots can penetrate really deeply, oxygen can penetrate really deeply, and same with moisture. Moisture can actually get way down into the soil where it's not going to just dry out on the surface. It actually can, get down and the roots can access it all the way down there. So it's really amazing. Plus the actual process itself, there is bacteria and there is microbes happening in here that are also helping with the process. And the more that you can use that to also add it into the soil in your pots or the soil in your garden, the more microbes you're introducing. They're sort of like the little gatekeepers. They unlock the nutrients from the soil, creating it into a way that the plants actually uptake. So sometimes we think about adding this to the soil and we're feeding the plants, quote unquote, but actually what we're doing is we're feeding the soil, and then those microbes, they're unlocking and the plants uptake as they need. So there's a lot of benefits to having your own compost system, whether it's, again, outside or it's a vermicompost. I do both because I live in a very cold growing zone. I'm in zone 3A in Saskatchewan, Canada, and that means that my compost is frozen for at least 5 months out of the year, sometimes 6 months out of the year. It doesn't do anything when it's frozen outside, which is why my compost system inside the house just helps me use those food scraps over the winter. And this one bottom bin here is full just from all the winter food scraps that I was contributing to it. And now I have a whole bunch to use in all my houseplants, and I can even add some into my outside garden. And I am just at the very beginning of my seed starting right now. So that's pretty exciting. So I hope that helps you. Stella is very excited. She really, really likes, oh, you don't want to say hi? Come here, come on. You really want to be in the video. You're bugging me the whole time. So if you do want to learn about compost, or you want to, just get straight to the most important pieces that you need to know, all the different kinds of systems, how to keep it, from getting funky and stinky, because it never is unless something has thrown itself off. So I can help you troubleshoot all of that. I've created a mini course that's your complete guide to composting. And I've actually just added in a whole category all dedicated just to vermicomposting. So I've added in lots more stuff. There's a lot within it, from why you should compost, things we've talked about here today, how you should. I'll share with a whole bunch of different bins with you, outside bins, and then I'll also share with you quite a few methods that don't actually involve worms inside or actual traditional compost bin structures. There's actually a lot of other funky ways that you can be composting without actually having to have big compost bins taking up your yard, because maybe you don't want to do that, and that's okay. So if that is something that is interesting and you want to kind of dive into it, my mini course is a whole bunch of super bite-sized videos, no fluff, just whatever you need, hop into it. Often they're anywhere from like 3, 5, 8 minutes. They rarely get over a 10-minute video, so you can just watch it exactly as you need it, get that exact piece of information, and then action it and move on with the process. The link will be in the description, and if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email is here as well, so you can send me an email. We can hop on a call as well and just talk about what you're thinking, questions you might have. I'm definitely here for you with all of your plant needs. And until we get to meet again, my name is Lindsay. Have a beautiful rest of your day.